All right. Hey. Hey, what is good, y'all? This is the weekly roundup featuring your guy, Naoto Wakabayashi. I'm just going to go through a pretty basic rundown of all of our most recent releases over the weekend. This is a pretty decent drop. I walked away being somewhat impressed with a few projects. There were some that I didn't particularly care for, but hey, so let's get right to it. This drop actually hit right before Thursday evening, I believe around Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been Tuesday, but it's Lymon Be by Chris Brown and Young Thug. This is a joint project that they dropped out of the blue. Actually, you know what? They were hyping it up for about a week or probably a couple weeks, but they decided to drop on a random day in the middle of the week. I thought it was okay. This project felt unnecessary, and to me, there weren't that many standouts. Maybe I would say Go Crazy, Trap Back, and Big Slimes were probably the best songs on that thing, but for a 12-track project, it really starts falling off towards the second half. Honestly, I wouldn't really say it's a essential listen, even if you're a fan of Young Thug and Chris Brown. Both of them have made way better projects. It's cool for what it is, but don't expect anything groundbreaking. A project that people were hyping up before it dropped was Kalani's It Was Good Until It Wasn't. For this project, I would honestly say that it was a solid release. In this project, we definitely get some toxic relationship type music, which is, all I really need at the end of the day. I may pull up with a review or reaction this week. I just got to figure out if, because I was going through the list of projects that dropped and, trying to plan out which one I was going to do a review or reaction to. And there are actually more projects that I wanted to make a video for. So I'll see what I can do throughout this week. I'm just going to try knocking out as many as possible and we can get it. And another project that dropped was Nav's Good Intentions. Honestly, I tried to listen to it, but I had to switch it off. I may put a review or reaction out, but to me, honestly, it was a bit boring. I'm not going to lie. I'm the kind of fan that considers SoundCloud Nav to be at his peak, not on some hipster shit. I'm not particularly impressed by his output, but I'll try to give this project another go. Review reaction might be coming soon, but we're gonna see. Another project that dropped that actually took me by surprise was Lil Durk's Just Cause Y'all Asked. Oh, geez, not Just Cause. Lil Durk's Just Cause Y'all Waited Too. I was actually pleasantly surprised by this project and how much I actually enjoyed it the first time I listened to it. I'm really looking forward to giving this album another listen. I'll see if I make a video on this, but you know what? Good job, Lil Durk. You did great. So the next project I want to talk about, Hayley Williams, Petals for Armor. I actually never grew up being a Paramore fan. Of course, I was very well aware of Paramore's existence. I mean, how could you not, considering they dropped some pretty big songs in the 2000s? But you know what? I was very cognizant of Paramore and Hayley Williams growing up. So with all that being said, I was quite surprised that this is actually Hayley Williams' debut as a solo artist. Because, at this point, I would have figured she would have had more. This project is actually quite a bit of a departure from that pop punk emo sound that you would get with Paramore. With that being said, Hayley Williams explores some really interesting song ideas and sounds, and I think she does a really good job of just trying different things out with her voice. So I'm going to have a review reaction of that project this coming week, so stay tuned for that. I'm also very, very excited to give this project a few spins and to really dissect the sounds on here and what Hayley Williams is talking about. So Stay tuned for that. Oh, and if you haven't checked it out, my Reena Sayama review reaction is up on the channel as well. Okay, now moving on. So we got Lil Tjay's State of Emergency. I found myself being less engaged with this project compared to True to Myself. Like, the thing is, I love that UK drill, NY drill fusion that's happening right now. It's just that I feel like it's really diluting Lil Tjay's sound a little bit. But to be honest though, if you like Lil Tjay, it's definitely worth a listen for sure. It's just that to me, it wasn't that interesting of a project. But you know what? It was really nice hearing Pop Smoke's voice on Zoo York. Yeah, what can I say? Let's move on. Oh, if you didn't know, Jean Doe also dropped. Oh, what's happening here? What is going on? Yeah, apologies. My hair is getting hella long right now. It is. So another project that dropped was John Doe's Watch This. It was really not what I was expecting from her. It's definitely more of a contemporary trap sound. I mean, before I walked into this project, I expected more of like an alternative rap style she got going on. To me, one of her most standout verses I've ever heard from her was the verse on Healer. So walking into this, I kind of expected that, but instead we get a lot of trap contemporary instrumentals on here and her rapping in more of that type of style. Although we get a Saba feature as well, he's also embracing this type of style. We also get Young Baby Tate on this thing. I'm going to give it a review and reaction this week because the first time I listened to it, I didn't really like it, but the second time there were certain things I started catching and I started to get really into, so I want to be able to break it down this time. And lastly, but certainly not least, yo, what is going on? I was editing my video and I realized I forgot a very important release. It is called Ka's Descendant of Kane. I believe he didn't release it on digital platforms on May 1st. I think you could actually just go out and buy the album, but it just got put on streaming services on May 8th. So that's actually a project I've been looking forward to listening all weekend. I just never got the chance to do so. So honestly, you could probably expect a review reaction of that project as well. I really want to break down the supreme lyricism on that thing, so yeah, I would stay tuned, you know? So I said last but not least, but now we can actually say last but not least, so let's get right into it. I got an EP on here, which is Little Simz's Drop 6. A reaction and review is going to be coming for this one as well. I love Little Simz. I'm going to reserve most of my thoughts until that review comes out. But what I can say right now is that there's a lot of tight instrumentals on here. And of course, you get Lil Simz's lyricism and that infectious bravado that she exudes in her delivery. That alone got me really excited to listen to this thing, and after I heard it once, I really liked it. But I'm gonna give you a proper rundown this week, so stay tuned for that. Yo, so that was the list of projects that dropped this week. It was honestly not that bad of a list, but you can tell right now that major releases are, starting to get postponed. And I think as long as this lockdown is going on and as long as artists can't really tour, we're going to see a lot of smaller EPs and mixtape releases happening. But I honestly do think that this is a really amazing time for lesser known artists to drop their absolute best work right now. Streaming and music consumption is bouncing back to where it was again. There was that fear that music streaming is not the same as it was pre-lockdown. Since um, since consumption of music went down, probably because people weren't commuting or going to the gym. A lot of people treated music as a passive experience. However, I kind of hypothesize that since people have more time on their hands, they can dissect music more and they have more time for that. And they're able to give your music a better quality listen. So, to all my lesser known acts out there, I would say keep dropping, you know what I mean? Who really knows? You might be able to leverage a moment and leverage it towards a tour and push that after all this is over. That's all I'm gonna say, man. It was honestly a cool weekend of releases, nothing too crazy, but let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear them. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, hope you have a good one. Salute. This is Naoto Wakabayashi, and as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Why can't I say it? It's like a tongue twister. But don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and also share the video if you messed with it. That really goes a long way with, growing this channel and growing this content. So, hey, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys throughout the week. Reaction reviews dropping soon. So stay tuned for that. All right, take care. Salute.